Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fit Lawyer Pod. I am your host, Fit Lawyer Julia, and today's guest is an amazing woman. I met her actually not too long ago. I met her February of 2023 at a Galentine event that was put on by our mutual friend. I met the mutual friend through bodybuilding, and she's known this mutual friend for years. They're both in the hair industry. So my guest today is a hairstylist. She is a curl specialist. She also does braids. And man, there are so many adjectives to describe her, and she wears so many hats. You know, she is a mom, she is a businesswoman, she is a fitness competitor who is working on her first show. So that's very exciting. I'm very excited for her. And when we recorded this podcast, it was the fitness thing was something she wanted to do. But I can't remember if she quite pulled the trigger on that. But now we are in 2024 and she has officially pulled the trigger on that. And I'm very, very excited to see her fitness journey and eventually see her on stage. And it was just such a beautiful conversation. I'm just in so much admiration of this woman and everything she does. You know, like I can't imagine I cannot imagine doing all the things that she does. And look fucking fly doing it. Okay. If you guys go follow her page, you will see that she is fly as fuck. I always say when I grow up, I want to be sexy like RayRay. Um, she, she looks amazing, and everything she does with grace. And I just loved our conversation so much, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So, without further ado, here is Miss RayRay. Hey.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, I can hear you just fine. So thank you so much for being on, RayRay. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for taking time out of your busy day to come chat with me. I know you said you just had a lift. How was your lift?
Amazing. Amazing. I'm ready to level
What'd you
up in the
train?
gym. So I've really been pushing myself. And I actually just started working out with a trainer because I come in here
Nice.
and I'm not so structured, but my goal is to at least compete next year. So it's time to level up.
I love that. What did you train today?
Booty. It's booty day.
Ooh, ooh, los glúteos.
Yep. No booty out here, baby.
So Ray Ray and I met not too long ago. We actually met on Valentine's Day just this year. But the minute the minute I saw Ray Ray, it was, not to get too lesbian-y, but I was like, oh, there's definitely a vibe about her. I love your aesthetics, like your style. I first noticed your teeth gems. So if you're listening and you're not seeing it, Ray Ray has, first of all, the cutest motherfucking dimples. And then
Oh,
she's got these teeth bling, and I've never seen that before. And if you know her, you know she is so sweet and just all fuzz. But if you literally just look at her, she has a little tougher shell. She's got the knuckle tats. Boss lady, what's up? um,
yes.
but when I spoke to her, she was just so sweet, so kind, and then we started following each other on Instagram, so I got to get to know her a little bit more. And Ray Ray is a businesswoman. She is the boss lady of what is it, Boston Beauties? Beauty,
Boston Beauties.
say
Yes.
Boston Beauties. She is also a educator at Bella's Academy. She is a curl specialist. So all you curly girls, go check her out. She does amazing work because I was getting my hair done, getting extensions by her business partner, and she was working on some curls. And Yeah, I don't have curls, but if I did, you'd be my girl. And seriously, if you have curls, go to RayRay because I have curly hair friends, and they said it's actually really hard to find somebody who really knows because it's different, like
It
to
is.
maintain and take care of those curls.
You have to approach it
And
completely differently. So yeah, you're right.
yeah, and you heard her. She is also gonna be working her way to the stage next year, which I'm so excited because RayRay has such a bomb body. She's so
Oh,
sexy. So to see that into itsy bitsy, very sparkly bikini, I'm excited. But
yeah.
how did you first get into hair or doing hair and curls and stuff?
Yes. So pretty much I've always had like a passion for the industry, but I came from a family
Mm-hmm.
that did not respect that as a career. So I was basically told if you're not going to go to college, you need to find a job that you basically pays you well, you have benefits and you can retire from, right? Because that's where my parents, that's the era they grew up in. So I did just
Mm-hmm.
that. I started straight out of high school and I got a job with Sharp Reese Daily, and I was in the medical field for 12 years altogether, 11 years with Sharp,
Oh wow.
1 year with Scripps. We won't talk about Scripps. But throughout that process, like I still had this desire to do hair. And then it wasn't until I had my first daughter, who's now 13, but I have this beautiful little baby with all this curly hair. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do right by her. And I feel this is the perfect time to go
Mm-hmm.
to school and learn how to do hair. And so I kind of did it too to prove to my family that hey, I can still work a full-time job. I can have kids at home and I'm going to go to school. And that's what took
Wait,
me.
so you
Mhm.
were so you were still working in the medical field when you started like beauty school
Yes. Yes.
with a
It
new
was,
with a newborn baby
oh, it was
with a new
insane. I
baby
look
girl.
back. Yeah, my life is very, very busy, but I think that trained me to be able to handle life as it is now because it was a lot. And then my journey through beauty school, I went there and I was so shocked at there was no education for curly hair. It literally was all about
Hmm.
altering curly hair and relaxing it, things of that nature. So I seen there's a great need out here. So this was before the whole Instagram boom, social media of embracing your curls. I literally was part of an
Right.
underground world that was like blogs. And then from there, I just really started focusing on any kind of education pertaining to like curly hair. And
Hmm.
yeah, here we are. And now my clientele is about 95% curly. I work with every curl type and texture. So that's how I got into the world of curly hair.
Okay, so that's a beautiful story, and like I mentioned earlier, I have not known Ray Ray for that long, so that was also new to me. But that is amazing that you were working full time, going to school with your new baby girl because that like I don't think people really realize how much work a kid takes a newborn. I certainly don't because I don't have kids, but I see my friends with kids, and then when they're cute and they're being fun, I'm like, oh, Auntie Mo, come here, give me kisses. And then
Yes.
and if they start yelling or if I start smelling something funky, I'm like, oh, this is not my baby. You take this poopy little thing back. Like it ain't mine.
Right.
So that's I super commend you for that, and I think that's so beautiful that it was almost your daughter that inspired you to take that faith and branch into hair and slowly transition out of the medical field. So when did you, I guess, leave the medical field to pursue beauty full time, and then when did you start Boston Beauties?
Yeah, so I actually started Boston Beauties when I was a student in school, because that was at like the very beginning of like the whole IG movement. And at that time, my
Okay.
educators were like, you need to document your journey. put your work out there. It's kind of like your portfolio, because we were transitioning from the old school world to the new school world, where before you used to have like a binder portfolio of your work. And now this was a
Okay.
way to put your stuff out there. So Boston Beauties was born when I was a student, and I wanted to create something that just kind of resonated with me, like what I feel was powerful. And everybody was kind of doing like hair by Sonia or hair by Tanya, type deal. And I'm like, nah, I like to be different. I like to be authentic. And so that's
Yeah.
where Boston Beauties was born. But my transition from going like part-time into the hair world and just kind of doing it as my second job to my pretty much my full-time job. Um, so it was when my mom died. Um, I was still working in the medical field, and my mom is actually the one that brought me over to Scripps, because she was working there, and she's like, "Hey, you can make a whole lot more money there, right?" And so at that time, I wasn't really
Hmm.
happy with Sharp, and so I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So at this point, me and my mom, we had towards the end of her life, we had a very beautiful relationship. We'd carpool every day, and I was pregnant with Juice, my last baby. And I had told my mom, I'm like, you know what? She's going to be my last baby for sure. I think I want to stay home with her and pursue hair full time, because I'm never going to get
Hmm.
this time again. I didn't do that with my older two. And,
Hmm.
it was crazy because, as I mentioned before, my family did not support this. And, my mom looked at me and she said, I think that's an amazing idea. And so for me, I'm like, are pigs
Oh, I
flying?
love
Did this
that.
work?
Oh,
So I was kind of
oh,
like,
that's so
oh.
beautiful, though.
So when I was, unfortunately, when I was 7 months pregnant, my mom passed away, and it was completely unexpected. My mom had
Hmm.
a pulmonary embolism, which kind of comes on very sudden, and yeah. So that in that moment, because my mom was only 50 years old, when she passed,
Oh,
um,
shit.
it was like an eye opener for me, because I was thinking, you know what? If you can just literally wake up and freaking die without warning, was I happy with
Yeah.
where I was in my life? And the answer immediately was no. And so for me, my
Hmm.
thought process was sink or swim. It's always kind of been sink or
Hmm.
swim. And I told myself, I'm like, you know what? The medical field will always be there. I can always come back to that if need be.
Yep.
But I'm just going to
Yep.
jump and see. And when I first jumped in, I was dog paddling, and now I'm blessed to say that I'm kind of back, I'm laying on my back floating now. So here we are.
Nice. I love that. Well, first of all, I'm sorry for the passing of your mother, especially while at 7 months pregnant. That's got to be so stressful. And I've seen your little girl, your baby, and she is so adorable. And I know your mom is looking down, so proud of you, so proud of her.
Thank you.
And I think that is, I think, isn't that funny how that works though? Like when you're younger, your parents tell you very specifically, hey, this is the path you're going to go down, or you're going to bring dishonor to us, right? Like, this is the expected path.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's as we grow into adulthood and we grow into womanhood, or if it's like our parents getting older, they're just much more accepting and
Yes.
relaxed because, similarly to you, uh, my parents did not consider psychology a real science, right? Real science to Chinese families is biology, chemistry, physics, and maybe you could do engineering. Maybe it depends what kind of engineering. No lame engineering, okay? So I took the path of attorney, did that for 7 years, and was just so miserable. And my mom and I pretty much told her like I don't see myself working back in an office full time. Like if I do take on any legal work, it's either going to be for the family business or for friends' business, or if someone is just being a dick, I'm gonna pull out the don't fuck with me. I know the law card, and I know lawyer friends too. So now I like it more as a defensive side, and my mom was very supportive of that as well. So it was just so beautiful to hear, your mom supporting you doing
Yeah.
hair full
Yeah.
time,
And likewise,
and
likewise.
yeah, it's nice. It's Yeah, so I'm working on building a relationship with my parents as well, not just my mom, but um, also my dad. And then so you were. It sounded like you were doing both for a little bit.
Mhm.
Did you kind of just cut back your hours in the medical field and then move into your business? Because that's very stressful. I think a lot of people are so scared to leave that uh, you know
Stability.
guaranteed check, that direct deposit,
Mhm.
exactly, stability to pursue something that is, like being a business owner is already very uncertain, but especially in like the beauty industry because it's not a need, right? It's not a
Right.
need.
Right.
It's a want. You got to tap into people's surplus accounts, surplus amount. So
It's a,
how did you navigate that?
yeah. So, literally sink or swim. I was so distraught after my mom died, because here I am pregnant. This happened out of nowhere. I had finally built this beautiful relationship with my mom that I had always desired. And it took me down
Hmm.
hard. Those were the deepest, the darkest times of my life. And I look back on that like, how did I get through that? But so
Hmm.
7 months pregnant, and then a couple weeks later, here Juice comes. So I was out on maternity leave and I was just not okay. And so when it was time for me to go back, I just told them, you know what? I can't. I can't come back. And
Yeah.
from there, it was just slowly transitioning into the industry. I always did it on the side. So, like, I worked my 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, I'm kind of a workaholic. So it's like, working 6, 7 days a week is not out of the ordinary for me. So
Yeah.
slowly started getting back into the salon life. And then just kind of started like dibbling and dabbling with different things. I've always been a braider, but my career took me into like assisting an amazing stylist. But I found out right away that assisting wasn't for me. Like, you hear it in the name, Boston Beauties. I have to be my own boss. You know what I mean? So yes,
Yes. Yes.
I learned a lot from him and he's phenomenal and I'm forever grateful. But then my career also took me into the world of makeup. So I worked at MAC Cosmetics for a couple years. From there, I went into the
Nice.
world of body waxing. So a lot of people don't know that about me, but I am a body waxer. I'll get you right. 15 minutes. So I
All
specialize
right.
in, yes,
Noted.
I specialize in Brazilian waxing, all body waxing. There's no body part off limit. I really fell in love with that, and so I do still offer those services. And then from there, kind of took me into booth rental, which is like a slow transition into being a business owner in the industry, because you still have to have everything as a sole proprietor. So that kind of built me up to the next step where now I'm a suite owner. Roxy and I, business partners. So you've been to the suite, you've seen it, and it's a work in progress.
Yes.
So now actually the goals have kind of shifted. It's kind of crazy because, like I said, with my family not supporting this, a lot of people don't know that there's much more to the industry than being behind the chair. There's many avenues you can take,
Hmm.
and I'm currently in school right now pursuing my bachelor's degree in business management. And what I foresee for the future is a beautiful full service salon where we offer everything like a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Yeah. And, recently, my braiding has taken me to a new level. So I recently auditioned for a team in Calabasas. So it's Volta Beauty, which is, in the world of EDM, and they do EDC, Nocturnal Wonderland, all these festivals, right? And I am very blessed to say that I will be going to EDC Orlando, braiding, and
Ooh.
girl, just
Ooh.
a small group of people that they selected, uh, and they're sending me out there to do what I love and to vibe and network. So it's amazing how my career has come like full circle.
I love that. Yeah, I saw you were up in Calabasas, living your best life. But I was like, I know she working this too. She having a good time, but she getting that bag because that's what bosses do, right? Have a good
Right?
time while securing the bag. I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
So just going back, so now for my own curiosity, for your waxing, have you ever waxed a man like a what is it, manzini?
So I've
Is that a thing
witnessed
where they
it.
get
Yeah, me
okay?
personally, I'm like a little uncomfortable because the skin is very stretchy and you really gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so where I
So
was
you
working
have
at,
seen a man get his balls waxed?
oh yeah, and his asshole too.
Oh
All fours,
wow.
baby. Yeah,
Do,
it's
do,
interesting.
are men bigger crybabies or are girls more crybabies when it comes to getting the southern regions waxed?
Girl, man, all day. You know, that area for us women, it was designed to take a beating in many different ways. So
Whew,
yeah,
whew.
yeah, I think men,
I,
take that one.
whenever I think about like a man getting waxed, I think of that 40-year-old virgin scene where Steve Carell's just like, Kelly Clarkson.
Yes,
Like,
very
and
much
he's like
like that.
literally like bleeding through his shirt. He's like, fuck you. Like, he's just so angry.
It's exactly like
So
that.
when you said that,
Yep.
I was, oh man, that's just all I think of. But yeah, that's amazing to see where you started and where you're going. And it sounds like you definitely have all the wheels in progress for doing that. So right, so how did you? So you mentioned you were an assistant braider, like braiding hair, just to be clear, and then how did you, I guess, build enough clientele or get enough business to where you can really live up to your name of Boss and Beauties?
Yes. Okay. So it has been a struggle. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it and act like it was just overnight. It's been years of
Yeah.
literally grit and grind. And there were times where I would be outside of the salon, literally like stopping people like, "Hey, do you need a haircut? Do you need braids? What do you need? I got you." And people would just look at me, or I'd post on social media, "Hey, um, taking walk-ins," and literally not a soul would walk in the door. So, I just didn't quit. I guess that's the key is
Yeah.
just not quitting. And no matter how terrible my work was at the time, I would just keep putting it out there. And I think the best way I grew my clientele, and now majority of them have been rocking with me for years, was word of mouth. Word of mouth, social media is
Nice.
amazing. You get a lot of traffic through social media. However, people will hit you with your pricing and then they're like, "Oh, okay, well, nice talking to you." You know what I mean? So, definitely
Yeah.
word of mouth, because once, people come in and get a service, because I provide much more than just cutting your hair. You know what I mean? Like I want to vibe with
Hmm.
you. I want
Hmm.
you to feel comfortable. Because let's face it, like we said earlier, curly hair is a whole different world. And
Yeah.
probably about every single curly girl that's ever sat in my chair has had a horrible experience at one point. So they're a little traumatized. And so my goal is to make them feel comfortable, at ease, let them know, "Hey, yes, I'm going to be doing your hair, but at the end of the day, you are the boss. You're in control because this is
Yeah.
your hair and I want you to feel beautiful and confident. And that's my name on your head." So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, I feel very blessed. I'm definitely not like a cocky person, like I'm the shit type person. No, but it's the biggest compliment when people are like, "Ray, your energy is just amazing." So for me, it's just
Yeah.
like, you know what? If I vibe with you, and yeah, they just keep telling everybody that they know, and that has blessed me with the clientele that I have.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I mean, because this is not like a short interaction, right? Like sometimes these girls are in your chairs for hours, and then
Out.
you're doing their hair, you're their therapist, you're talking to them about their boy problems, their mom problems. Like, yeah, so I think that's amazing that you are able to develop a good relationship and a good rapport with your clients. But again, like, I think your work also speaks for itself, because regardless of how sweet and charming and friendly you are, like, there's a reason why they're not going to their best friend to get their hair done. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely think it's the two, right? Like, you know your shit, and they enjoy being with you. They enjoy, shooting the shit with you while you making them look fly.
Hey, I love you. That part.
So, I mean, I think, yeah, like, because at least for me, like, I know why I drive 40 minutes to get my nails done up in Rancho Bernardo, is because I like shooting the shit with a girl, and I don't want to just
Yep.
sit there on my phone while, they're speaking their native language and ignore me the whole time. Like, no, I'll make
Yeah.
the drive up,
Right.
because I enjoy the interaction. But first and
Yeah.
foremost, my girl who does my nails, this shit lasts a month. So it's also
And
worth the drive
quality.
for me.
Yeah.
Quality
Yeah.
of the
And you know
work is
what?
good.
It's
Yes.
very, very hard to find a good service provider, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
lashes, waxing, nails, hair. It's very
Mm-hmm.
hard. And now the industry has changed. I'm an educator
Mm-hmm.
now. I taught through COVID and the shutdown, and it's very unfortunate
Oh
that a
shit.
lot of people went through their entire program without even touching clients. You know what I mean? So that just kind of says something.
No, no, actually I don't. Can you elaborate on that? So first of all,
Yeah.
let's backtrack a little bit. How did you get into? When did you become an educator, and how did you get into becoming an educator at
Yeah.
Bellis
Yep,
Academy?
zealous. So,
Okay.
definitely like I've always had a desire to be an educator because when I was in school, my team of educators were phenomenal. These people were heavy hitters in the industry doing major things with major companies. And that's what showed me that there's much more to the industry than just being behind the chair. So for me, in the back of my mind, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if I could ever be like, I want to be like them when I grow up, type deal. And for
Yeah.
me, like a desire of mine still in my career would be to educate on a higher level. Like I do want to travel and I want to educate professionals and work with brands. And so I always had that desire. And then it just so happened that I kept in touch with one of my favorite educators. And one day she hit me up and she's like, "Hey, have you ever thought about educating?" And I'm like, "Oh, me? Oh my God," And she's like, "Yeah, I think you would be amazing. Let's get you in here." And so I didn't believe in myself at first because I'm like, "No way, I'm not at their level." But I again sink or swim, and I'm like, "What do I have to lose?" And that was around COVID. So I started at a very
Mm-hmm.
chaotic time where we were opening, shutting. It was horrible. But through the shutdowns, we taught
Yeah.
on Zoom, completely on Zoom. So you had me in my
Oh.
room, doll head set up, and I'm showing them. But let's face it, a lot of people lost interest because they couldn't do hands on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a little rough. And yeah, so you had people going through their entire program, no hands-on experience, going to state board, getting their
Oh
license,
man.
and now they're in the field. So, yeah, when you find somebody who knows their shit,
That's a little scary.
that's scary, huh?
Yeah, that low key, that definitely, because I would feel nervous if they're like, oh, I graduated, got a certificate, all that, but I've never actually worked on anyone. I'm like, so I'm guinea pig number one.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to be guinea. I don't want to pay full price to be guinea pig number one.
Yeah.
Because the school offers the discounted rates, right, to get whatever services you want done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, and then it was like
Yeah.
once we transitioned into full time, again, now we have a whole new generation of up and coming stylists that are used to going to what I call YouTube University, you know, and just watching social media. A lot of them are self-taught, and
Yeah.
so they come to school not all of them, but some of them with this idea of I'm just here to get my license, and they completely shut out um, other ideas from others, you know, and it's really kind of hard at times. But I'm there to let them know, hey, YouTube University doesn't give you sanitation, disinfection, client protection, all of
Right.
the things to help you get that license and maintain it to be legit.
It's like cue Kendrick's Lamar song, sit down, be humble.
You said it, I didn't,
See, see, play Kendrick Lamar, be humble.
yeah, you know what? It's a beautiful thing though too,
Right.
because there are some people that are there and they're just, as students, they're phenomenal. And you know what? I'm the first educator that they encounter when they start their journey. So I'm the
Yeah.
mama bear on campus. They come to me and I get to see
Aww.
them through all these like aha moments, and the barbers especially, because barbers come in like, why do I need to learn how to curl hair? Why do I need perms? Why do I need, and you know what? To see them grow and have an aha moment, I'm like, this is what I live for. This is it. You know what I mean? So when it comes to educating,
Yes.
it has its highs, it has its lows, and yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. And so you are both an educator and a student because you mentioned you are also in school getting your bachelor's in business administration, your BA.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm crazy.
So
If
tell
you
us a
haven't
little
figured
bit.
that out.
Tell us, hey, but crazy in all the right ways, right? Like your hustle, your grind, and the fact that you're still just such a positive ray of energy. Like that's why I
Oh,
was like, I even think your name is so fitting. You are just a ray of positivity and a ray of sunshine. Like I mentioned, just on that rooftop, I was like, oh, she's so pretty. She's so badass. Like I love like you're naturally gorgeous, stunning. Your dimples are so cute, and I love your style as well. So I felt very intimidated at Galentine's. I'm not even gonna front. And then when I spoke to you, and you were just so sweet. And the more I learn about you, including this conversation, I'm just in so much awe and admiration of you, everything you've done, everything you're doing, and your plans for the future, and the fact that you're not just talking and thinking about it, but you are en route doing it, whether that is for the stage or for your business or as a mom or as an educator, like whatever role you take on, like I love that you don't half-ass it and you
oh,
are
thanks.
wearing all of these hats, but wearing it to where um, you're wearing the hats and the hats aren't wearing you. You're not getting defeated by all these different things you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's what I genuinely really, really admire about you, because there are days where I find it hard to walk my dog. I'm just like, I am so tired and I don't even know how you deal with 3 kids.
You know what?
And students and
Yeah.
professors and clients.
You know what? I've
But
always
yeah, so
been,
getting your beat.
yeah, I've been, since I was a kid, I just love, if that makes sense. Like, I just have so much love inside my body that I want everybody to be happy. And my mom used to say, you live in a fantasy world, you know? And it's like, no, but that's my world. And I just love people. And it's so
Yeah.
funny because, people, when they first meet me, they get this, whatever, they prejudge and they think maybe I'm a bitch or whatever, because I have a resting bitch face. I was born this way, you know, and my tattoos
I was born
probably,
this way.
don't help. And I just don't really, I'm not the first to engage in conversation. So but if you crack that door open, I'm like, you know what I mean? And yeah,
Yes.
I really appreciate your kind words because I'm really hard on myself, you know? So hearing that, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So as so you're also in school to get your BA. How long have you been doing that, and how long do you have left?
Okay, so a lot of people don't know this as well that you can, well, Bellis Academy has a, I don't know what it's called, like a deal, I guess, with National American University. So I was able to use my Cosmo license as transfer credits to work towards a degree. And that helped tremendously. So I've been in
Oh,
school now for a little over a year. And I will be done
okay.
in November 2025. Oh, long way.
That's not bad, girl. That's just about 2 years. Time. That's no. It's gonna fly so fast. Like I felt like Valentine's Day was yesterday. Like Roxy did an
True.
amazing job planning that. All the amazing women that showed up, all the business owners, and 2 years is gonna fly by, and that is so exciting. And so, what I guess what are you hoping to achieve after receiving your bachelor's
You know
regarding the
what?
projection of your
I don't
career?
know. So like as I had mentioned, like you know, maybe possibly going into opening my own salon. But I was kind of looking at some of these brands out
Hmm.
here, as I mentioned, like I want to educate on a higher level. And so there are companies
Yeah.
out here with the degree that I have, girl, making nice money. So I don't know. I'm open to
Yeah.
opportunity, and I'm kind of learning in life that I'm not in control and God is, and whatever is put in my pathway, I'm going to
Yes.
jump on whatever opportunity comes my way.
I love that. I love that. And I think that also sets like such a great example for your kids, right? Like
Yeah.
especially your daughters,
Oh
to
yeah.
have such a hardworking intellectual mom, but who's also true to herself, right? Because, like you mentioned earlier, when people look at you, they may not think that you're all of these hyphens and doing all the things that you do because of your style and your outside your physical appearance. So I think that's
Yeah.
also really beautiful to teach your daughters, like you can stay true to who you are and how you want to represent yourself, but also be a highly contributing member to society, educated, kind, sweet, and all the things that make you outside of just the look or whatever. um,
Absolutely. You know what?
so
My son is actually a senior in high school this year, and he sees me like literally I have no life. So the gym is my life, and that's my recreational time. Because you
yeah.
know what? It's a win-win situation there. But all my extra time goes into schoolwork, and it is kicking my ass right now. I am taking
Yeah.
marketing and supervision, and with marketing, numbers, me and numbers, unless it's dollar bills. I'm like, I don't process numbers, but I'm learning. And he sits there and he's so highly encouraging. He's like, "You got this, mom." You know, and just him seeing me
Oh.
do it has made him want to go to college right after high school. And you know what? I'm so proud because he's going to be the first in our family to go straight out of
Oh.
high school into a college. Um, so it's beautiful. And
That's
then for my daughters
amazing.
too, you know, it's kind of like I tell my kids, if you have a skill set and you just pour into that, amazing things can come from that. Because honestly,
Yeah.
yes, you know, it's ideal to go to college, get your degree, and I love that. But I do recognize that that route is not for everybody. So I want my
Mhm.
kids to know
Mhm.
that you can make a life doing something that you love, something that is non-traditional, you know, and make it your own. So yeah, I definitely try to set that example for them. They're the reasons I go so damn hard.
Um, and yeah, so Ray mentioned she has a son who is a senior in high school, but I still think she's capping, and that's her brother. Um, but so, and I think that's amazing that he's going to be the first one in your family to go straight from high school to college. And like you said, I definitely think you are a major contributor to that. And I think that says a lot about you as a mother as well. So I definitely want you to take some credit for that as well, right? Because he's your fruit. So you did something right.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
and to piggyback off what you said, I it sometimes feel almost like hypocritical for me to say this because I went from high school to college, college to law school. I didn't take any time, and I actually graduated college at 20, started law school at 21, and became a licensed attorney at 24. I went the GTFO route, like I just want to be done with school, bring the maximum honor to my Chinese parents. But I definitely think there's many paths to success. I have friends from high school who didn't go to college, came out, started working, and is now business owners as well, and they're
Yeah.
thriving. And when people think it's like, what does he do for a living? Oh, he's a trapper or pest control because it's Oregon, so he like traps gophers and beavers and stuff. And
Mhm.
it may not have quite the same ring as an attorney, but I've seen him go from, trapping gophers for other people to being his own business owner and buying multiple trucks and hiring our other friends. So, kind of like what you said, whatever, it's important, for you to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk for your kids. Like, hey, there are many paths to success, and if you choose to go one way, it's okay to change your mind. Like, if you go the medical route right after high school because kind of what your mom told you, the check was steady, but then
Yeah.
it's also okay to pursue your own dreams regardless of how scary it is. And then if you ever want to go back to school, like, hey, you're doing that as well. So I just love that you're not only talking the talk, but you're genuinely walking the walk. Um,
Yeah.
and so, how do you balance all of that though? Because you're teaching, you're learning, you're doing hair, you're waxing buttholes, you're also a mom, you're a human mom, you're a dog mom. How do you find the balance between being a mom to your baby girl to braiding some hair at some festivals to waxing some
Oh my
buttholes like
God.
and getting your lifts in, girl? Because I see you at the gym on Instagram. We go to different gyms, but I see you thrusting, I see you squatting, I see you military pressing. So
Yeah.
I mean, do you have more than 24 hours in a day? Like, do you have, what kind of sorcery are you doing?
You know what? It's basically a combination of straight up PTSD plus time management. You know what? Losing my mom the way that I did at such a young age, I look at life like it is fragile, it is
Hmm.
short, and it can end at any time. And like it always takes me back to that day. Like if I was to die right now, would I be happy with where I'm at? And so every single day I take the bull by the horns and I'm just trying to become a better me, better role model for my kids. And I just want a good life,
Yeah.
and for me, I always look at it like if I was to die today and I look at my maker and I can honestly said every title that he's given me in this life, I did it to the best of my ability. And that's
Yes.
basically what fuels me every day.
That's awesome. I love that. Um, and then, what advice would you have for people who are either trying to make a career change or who wants to become their own business owner and kind of transition out of their 9 to 5?
Yeah, so definitely first and foremost, believe
Oh,
in
did I lose
yourself.
you, Ray?
No, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, yes, you're back. You're
Okay.
back.
So, definitely first and foremost, the most important thing would be you have to believe in yourself. Even when nobody else believes in you. Okay. You gotta believe in yourself. Second thing is you can't quit. Like I tell people all the time, you cannot quit at the first sign of something going wrong. Like you got to have thick skin, you know what I mean?
You froze
And
again. Oh
yeah,
no.
you have to. Especially like the industry that I'm in. I tell my students all the time, you know what? You can't take anything personal. If you make a mistake, learn from it. Learn from your mistakes and
Hmm.
don't do it again. Grow from it. And I really just feel that having hunger and drive, ambition, all of those things combined, I mean, nothing but success can come from that. It's a slow journey. It's definitely slow, but you got to have patience as well. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then, what advice would you give kids who are in school right now, who are getting ready to graduate, or wanting to get into beauty school?
Uh,
What advice would you have for them?
definitely just do it. Basically, you got to try it, because you never know what could come from it. You know what I mean? And if you have a passion for it, you might as well try it. You know what I mean? Try
Hmm.
it, see if it's for you. If it's not, then go about your business and try something else. But don't ever live with the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Just
Hmm.
do it.
That's yeah. That's so beautifully said because um, because I think the more people are like, oh, the more they doubt themselves, the more they put it off, and then it's like, oh, well, I should have done it a few years ago. There's no point now. So then it becomes
Yep.
like this snowball of excuses on not pursuing what they want to do out of fear.
Yeah. You
Um,
know what? It's never too late to start something new. I have students that are older than me sometimes, and I can see that they feel a little like self-conscious. And I'm like, you know
yeah.
what? There really is no difference between you and I, other than I started my journey earlier than you. And it all boils
Hmm.
down to perfect timing. You're supposed to be here now. So don't worry about what has happened. Let's focus on the now
Yes.
and let's go from there.
Yeah, I love that because I'm almost 32, and in Chinese cultures, I'm considered quote unquote one of the leftover women because I'm not married or anything like that, and I'm in my 30s, right? And that was kind of something in my late 20s. My mom was always like, because I did everything else early, right? Like graduating college early, cool, no problem with that. Graduating law school early, cool, no problem with that. Not getting married in my in between not getting married between 25 and 28. Ooh, you're a little late. But I literally told my mom, like, this is your timeline and this is the Chinese culture timeline. It's not the US timeline. And obviously, it's not God's timeline for me. So I'm going to meet my man not on your time, not on Chinese time, but on God's time. And he is going to be, whew, so fine.
Yeah,
Um,
that part. That part. It
Because
really
I
is.
know God
You're
loves me and He is
manifesting
not
right
going to
now.
send me a buster. Nah. Yes. And my mantra is,
Well, no.
and sometimes He'll send you lessons, but I know at the end of the day, He's going to protect you. He's going to protect me and He's going to send us lessons until we're ready to meet, the one or
Yeah,
whoever is going to be there to make you the best version of yourself. So
there
I
you
love,
go.
saying that when I was in law school, I was very young, but I went to school with people who finished their service and is in law school with their GI Bill. So they're a little bit older, but it was genius because they graduated with no debt, unlike your
Right?
girl here, and student loans be
So,
at 6-7% interest, which I
yeah.
also did not know, and I won't get into that because that makes me a little bit mad.
Yeah.
But
You know
yeah,
what? The way to justify that is we are all going to die in debt. So,
gosh,
hey, F it.
and like the gas prices too. I'm like, well, I guess if you like, that's my post the other day too. If you see me on my little pedal bike on
That was
I-5,
funny.
like, whew. But
Yeah.
well, I know you're busy, Ray Ray, and I love this conversation so much. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Are there any last words or anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up this conversation?
Yes, ma'am. I want to say thank you so much for taking your time to have
Oh,
me here. I am so freaking proud of you. I am
oh,
excited to
thank
watch this
you.
grow and evolve to like higher levels. You're doing your thing
Yes.
as well. So, like you said, we didn't meet too long ago. And you have a beautiful soul, and you're
Thank you.
gorgeous and hilarious as hell. You crack me up on IG. uh so yeah, keep doing your thing. I'm here for it.
Thank you. Thank you. And then before I let you go, tell the people where they can find you personally and where they can find you professionally.
Yeah. So definitely on IG. Personally on IG, Miss RayRay G. So that's MSRayRayG. If you know Z and you want to just see what I do behind the scenes. Professionally, my educating career and my braiding, all that stuff. Boston Beauties. So that's BOSSIN Beauties, BEAUTIES. Boston Beauties.
Awesome. And I will definitely put all of that in the description below. Definitely check out RayRay. I don't know when this episode will be out, but definitely follow her hair page because her hair transformations are like they're so different. You would think that they're two different people. Um, and I'm very excited for all the things you have coming up. I'm very excited for you getting that bachelor, getting your butt on stage, and just seeing everything you're
Yeah.
doing. So I'm so excited. And yeah, thank you again. Have a great Friday and have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
Mama.
Yes.